So the 4% rule is like a way of kind of extrapolating out expenditure today to get a big number at the end. Another guide is the PLSA rules, the Pension Lifetime Standards Association. No,
it's Savings Association.
Savings Association. There we go. What they basically do is they kind of go, this is how much money the retiree needs today to live different qualities of life, right?
Yeah, so what the PLSA details do, which I think they're doing something that no one else is doing, which is trying to articulate it, trying to kind of put a figure on. The reason why I like them, and I'll say why I like them before I start posting like being negative.
You can hear the comments already.
Yeah. No, the reason why they're good is because there's somebody's got to do it, and they're a stake in the ground. They basically kind of they articulate, okay, if you have minimum, moderate, and comfortable, this is the type of lifestyle you'll like to lead. You know, you'll maybe be able to afford these type of holidays. You'll be spending this on maintenance. And it allows people to paint a picture of what their life might look like if they were to achieve this level of income in retirement. The problem is, and there's a massive problem, and credit to the IFS who came out with a paper on this, which I thought was really interesting, is that, so just kind of for the purpose of people listening, I've got the figures here. For a couple, the PSLA are saying that if you want a minimum standard of retirement living standards in retirement, obviously, it's £22,400 per year. Moderate is £43,100. Comfortable is £59,000 per year. This is net. This is not including mortgage or rent costs.
And they've gone up a lot in the last couple of years because of the inflation point. They were a lot lower 2 years ago.
Now, single is a little bit lower. It's $14,400 for minimum, $31,300 for moderate, and $43,100 for comfortable, because one person, you don't spend half, but it's not as much as two, obviously. But the thing that was really interesting about the IFS paper is they basically looked at it all and they went, okay, so we're using these guides for people to understand how much they need to save. But no one in work, or hardly anyone in work, is able to achieve these standards. You know, if you think about a comfortable lifestyle for a couple being £59,000 per year, you then add in someone paying mortgage or rent or whatever, the median wage is around £37,000.
They're net figures as well.
These are net figures.
Tax. So 60 grand in your bank account after you've paid your mortgage, and it's a lot of money.
It's not really realistic.
Well, 75% of couples won't make the moderate standard, was what the paper found, right?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, no one's meeting these standards in work.
But wouldn't you think it would be easier for a couple to meet the standards than an individual? Like, why is it more couples, less couples make it?
It is less. So if you look at the numbers, if you double the single person figure, it comes out as more than the number for the couple. That's like the economy of scale almost. Of the benefit of being in a couple is the food bills are a little bit cheaper relative. It's more expensive to be alone. So yeah, it is easier, and you've also got two people saving. But I would encourage people to take a look at the standards, and I think there'll be a lot of people that would look at them and go, that doesn't excite me. You know, we get pushback all the time. I know you're the same. Whenever you mention them, it's people are in the comments going, it's outrageous. Who needs X amount a month? I live off half that. But I'd also take a look at them, and you're like, one holiday a year, moderate. Is that what people envisage their retirement to be? I'm not sure that it is.
No,
I think a lot of people think it will get better when I retire.
And you're doing all this work now so you can enjoy
so
yourself
I can have
later.
6 holidays a year or whatever.
Live on a cruise ship for 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. But you like you say, I think, who else is putting the numbers up? No one else is. Everyone's critical of them. And I think, have a look at them and really say, you know, is this the life I want? But they do scare me a little bit, personally.
I think the big thing, which is what the IFS paper came out and said, which I think is right, is that, and we kind of talk about it as this kind of, if you think about it as a problem for society, it's a huge thing we're trying to solve here. How much is enough? It really feeds into some massive areas. It feeds into how much we should be putting into our pensions, what should the auto-enrollment levels should be. You know, there's what the implications are for the state pension. The question of what is enough is a massive one that we kind of do need a societal view on it. Now, the IFS in the paper suggested that there are other ways of looking at it. So as opposed to looking at sort of the retirement living standards, they looked at a replacement rate approach, which is basically you look at and I think I prefer this to retirement living standards broadly, but nothing's perfect here, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to use some general guidelines for something that's incredibly
hit a moving target.
Exactly.
That's different for every individual.
But the idea of replacement rate is it basically says, right, based on your income levels pre-retirement, you will typically need a percentage of that in retirement. So how it works is that if you, for example, were earning pre-retirement 0 to 17,000, they say you're going to need 80% of that in retirement. Now, as you go higher up the income scale, say, for example, now you earn more than 90,000 or more, they say you only need to replace 50% of the income. And the idea behind that being that effectively the more you go up on the scale, the more headroom you have to have a lower replacement rate. I think these are useful guidelines, but they can't answer the question, which is what is enough for you? And that's entirely individual.
Yeah, I think it's interesting from our conversation with Nest and through other bits of research is this idea that lower earners might oversave and impact their quality of life through retirement, whereas the middle band, they might be the big undersavers. It's kind of the middle earners, higher rate taxpayers, especially, that are most at risk of undersaving. It's interesting, isn't it? Like the lowest paid in society, because of the replacement rate that's offered by state pension in the minute. They might be okay, in retirement.
That was a clip from our chat with George Agan, financial advisor. To watch the whole thing, click right here. What are you doing? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do?
Smiled. Everyone laughed at me.